piling right in there and running the daylight. It's one-on-one blocking, and there's nothing confusing or difficult about it. It's just using your eyes and getting that first down.
Ticats lead by 8. Rufus Crawford to the 50. Ron Cherkis, number 60. Now Cherkis has some rather big shoes to fill this afternoon. He's in place of John Helton, who was injured last week against Saskatchewan. Actually, Cherkis plays the right tackle, but he's moved over to the left side with York Henschel moving into Cherkis' normal position. This is 2nd and 8, Tiger Cats. Clements avoids it again and has Rocky DiPietro at the 41-yard line. Paul Bennett the tackle, and Frank Cush should have been smiling if he wasn't. An 18-yard pickup. Right on the money, Tom Clements to Rocky DiPietro.
Here's Clements now going back. He's getting excellent protection right there. Washuk just gets enough wood on him to get him past the quarterback right there, and he throws it right in there. If it was off 6 inches, it would have been an interception, but that's Clements for you.
He's back to throw again. Keith Baker inside the 25-yard line, his 2nd reception of the afternoon. Maybe they spotted something. Reggie Pearson was defending on the play. .449 to play in the 3rd quarter from Ivor-Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. And a first down again for Tom Clements and the Tiger Cats. Away again. Dave Graffey makes the reception.
That's just an outstanding job right there by James Reed at middle linebacker. He read that and got over and made that play, or it could have been a touchdown or a long gainer at least.
Second down, a little better than 10 to go for the Tiger Cats now. Wind seems to have died down just a little bit.
But you know what Hamilton's doing? They're biding time. They're playing against the wind, and they've used up all but 4 minutes and 3 seconds of this 3rd quarter. Clements is again playing the surgeon role and doing a great job.
Deep in the end zone, double coverage on Stapler, number 3. It was not a particularly well-thrown football. Well, CFL action continues on CBC next weekend. Montreal at Edmonton. That's next week in the CFL. The next Sunday, the 27th, Calgary at Toronto. And that'll be your 2nd telecast, Mr. Cahill.
Right, that'll be right back in my home backyard here. Here they're going for the field goal here now. Ruoff and Pedersen holding the ball.
It's wide, and the single point conceded by the Blue Bombers. Ian Mofford, 28, going down to concede the point. Bernie Ruoff thinks it might have been through. He's wearing glasses, he should know.
Bernie Ruoff better be still, or he'll be kicking from the sideline.
3 minutes, 24 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. The Tiger Cats out in front, 22-13 as a result of that single points. The Bombers take over and try to get it going offensively from their 35.
Just 3:22 remaining.
Dieter Brock has time to the outside for Bob Gaddis. He's out of touch. A 22-yard pickup, and we'll be back. The Bomber first down in just a moment. John Wells along with Leo Cahill from Ivor-Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. Blue Bombers trail by 9. They have a first down. The Tiger Cat 53. Nowhere to go for Obie Graves. It is Jim Mueller from Queens in there to make the tackle on Graves.
Mueller looked like he hit the gap that time and just came free. It was a good play, and he got to Obie Graves before God got the news. It's just a... Here's the replay on it right there. Watch the right defensive tackle there. Plays off the block and just goes right straight through on the penetration. A good job by Mueller.
Live action, 2nd and 10. Graves on the outside. Priestner, good tackle to prevent the first down yardage from being obtained at the 45. Bombers are short. 3rd, a little better than 2, I'd say. 2 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. And Jackson comes in. Leo, they're going for it.
Well, you know, with 2.5 yards to go, I don't see the advisability. I think they put Jackson in there in a short yardage situation, maybe for his strength in a quarterback sneak, but he's certainly not going quarterback sneak it. And why wouldn't they let Brock do anything else that they were going to do?
Now Graves comes reasonably close to the
I think he's got
yardage. Preston Young makes the tackle. But I'll bet we see a measurement.
Might be a measurement, but he's got the first down, I'm pretty sure.
What goes through your mind if you're Ray Yawk on the sidelines at this point?
Ray is saying to himself, I hope this works, because if I don't, they'll be after me on Monday morning.
The Bombers have the first down by maybe a foot and keep the drive alive. Really looking at that scoreboard, Leo, 22-13. The game is far from being in the complete control of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Bombers can punch something in here.
Well, they've got to take advantage of this little time that's left with the wind. Got to get some points on the board with the wind here.
Eugene Goodlaw. Leroy Paul, 27, providing the defensive coverage. Goodlow very close to 8 yards on the reception.
Brock has got that rifle for an arm. That's a long pass, and again, it's a pass that could be dangerous if that defensive man reacts too quickly, but he got it over to Goodlow, and Goodlow got the good yardage on it, and as a result, they're down there about to the 34-yard line with the 2nd and just a little bit over 2 yards to go for the first down.
And just under a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Jim Mueller and Obie Graves just across the line of scrimmage.
Well, there's no question where they're at right now that Coach Yawk is going to go for it again if he went for it the last time. I think he may be a little bit short here, but they're going to go for it.
Well, not 2.5 yards short.
About 18 inches short.
Third down.
Third down.
And Jackson comes in again. Mark Jackson has not seen a great deal of duty as a quarterback with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and Dieter Brock's statistics of 1980 really have set that out.
I kind of like Mark Jackson when he was with the Toronto Argonauts. Reminds me a little bit of Bobby Lane that used to play with the Detroit Lions. He's a real tough kid and a pretty good leader.
Jackson keeps himself.
He got it.
Jackson, the ball carrier.
And 23 seconds remain in the 3rd. Not a bad ball game this afternoon.
Oh, I think it's a great football game considering that Winnipeg has had some problems and that you're playing on Hamilton's home ice. And, you know, Hamilton is really tough to come in here and play against because that fan reaction means so much to them, and they play so very well at home.
The official indication confirms what Mr. Cahill just said. A first down for the Blue Bombers.
John, I keep saying this, but there's no question about it. They've got to get on. There's only 16 seconds left here now, and if they do get the ball now going down the other end, they're going against the wind. And right now, they got to go for the fences.
Brock eludes 2 tacklers and pitches out. Bruce Wilkins almost to the 5-yard line. I don't know if that one was in the playbook, but it seemed to work fairly well.
Mr. Brock looked like a split-D quarterback on that one. He took the ball, kept it, and started down the field there and just shuttle passed with his left hand out to the outside, and it was a great play.
The The third quarter is over. The Tiger Cats lead the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 22-13. We'll be back after. Start of the fourth quarter, the Bombers threaten first down. Goal to go from the Tiger Cats 6-yard line. Mark Jackson in at quarterback, keeps himself. Jackson inside the 2, fumbled the ball. Hamilton has recovered. The Tiger Cats have recovered. Ben Zambiazzi makes the recovery. Carm Cartieri stripped the ball from Mark Jackson. It turns around so quickly.
Here it is right here. Mark Jackson's running the split T option play, and he keeps to the inside. You notice that ball is on the inside arm, and it gets knocked loose because he didn't shift it to his outside arm. It gets knocked loose by Cartieri, I believe it was, or by Zambiazzi, and Cartieri recovered. I don't know which was which, but both of them were in on the play. And it was a question that time of Mark Jackson taking the ball, starting out on the option, deciding to duck up inside and try to score himself, but he forgot to shift that ball to the right arm and get it away from danger. And the ball, and the defensive man come in and jammed his head at the ball, loosed the ball up, and it's a recovery, and Hamilton's got the biggest break of the ball game.
Cartieri is the injured Hamilton Tiger Cat. I believe the credit goes to Ben Zambiazzi for the recovery of the ball. Cartieri shaken up on the play.
John, you know, that was almost a duplication of the first quarter when Winnipeg kept Hamilton off the scoreboard the entire first quarter, and then Hamilton went down the first play of the second quarter, I believe it was, and scored to get on the scoreboard. Now this time it was just the opposite. Winnipeg couldn't do anything, and then they got the first play of the second quarter. Here it is again. It's just a regular split T option. Dive back, going straight through, right down the line of scrimmage. He keeps the ball. He keeps the ball in that left arm. There's where the danger comes from. There goes the helmet at the ball, and there goes the ball. And that was a very, very, very bad break. And it's sometimes an indication of what happens when a guy like Mark Jackson only gets in the ball game on an occasion. He's not loose, he's not warmed up, and he's not really capable of doing anything other than taking a quarterback sneak and getting that first down. When you ask him to do something like run an option play, when he's not warmed up, something like that can very well happen. But it's no reflection on what Ray Yawk is trying to do. Had he just shifted that ball and got it in his right hand and held on to it, they probably could have scored on this drive.
But then again, Leo, your ace quarterback, Dieter Brock, has a wonky knee on which he wears a brace, so I guess you have to gamble in a situation like that every once in a while.
Well, I just feel very bad for Mark Jackson because he's a fine young man and I think a good quarterback, and it's a terrible break for him.
From the 2-yard line, Tiger Cats take over, first down. Straight ahead, Dave Graffey. Not much running room that time. Tiger Cats on the season have been impressive just about every time out. They've won 7 times, lost only twice, and tied once. One of the losses to the Eskimos, the tie, 34-all affair with the Eskimos here in Hamilton. Second down and 8. Shakes long. Stapler can't make the catch. He would have been out of bounds anyway, I believe. Don Burrell was covering.
That was characteristic of a play I saw Clements do a long time ago. Here we come right now. There's a replay on this thing. Here's Stapler going down right here, going to the outside. And you've seen this happen so often this year where Clements got that long pass out. Pretty good coverage, though. He had to throw the ball out of bounds. It wouldn't have been complete had he caught it. But it was kind of characteristic of what I saw Clements do when he was playing in college for Notre Dame against Alabama. He won the football game coming out of the end zone with a pass in the waning moments of the game to get the ball and get down and score. It was just an outstanding play, and Clements will do that.
Bernie Ruoff from deep in his end zone. Almost blocks. This is Paul Bennett. And he's to the 37-yard line. Met by Jack Blair, 41. Like the Bombers come out of it with good field position. In spite of the fact they have to attack the wind.
John, am I imagining it, or has the wind kind of died down a little bit? Maybe they're going to have a break. As I said that, I could feel the wind blowing in our face up here, so maybe it hasn't died down.
I think it has subsided a little bit, Leo. It's midway through the third quarter. It seemed to die down a little bit, so I don't think it will be quite as big a factor. Brock on first down. Obi Graves. made the tackle.
Those defensive tackles and defensive ends are asked to read that screen as they start their penetration after the quarterback. If they see any offensive lineman leaving their positions to get out and lead interference, they're supposed to flatten off and get over there and make the play. And he just made a sensational play on that, sensing the screen and getting over and catching Obi Graves from the back.
This is 2nd and 7. Flags come down. The coverage obviously too close. The intended receiver was Gaddis. And I think they've got David Shaw for interference.
Well, there's no question that was interference. He had his hands all over
Pass
him.
interference, number 37, Hamilton.
Bumped him out of the way.
First down.
Hamilton fans don't like it, but you know, they wouldn't like it if you give them a loaf of bread. I mean, it's a... Comes right down here and just a simple, see this? Puts the hands all over him, and I mean, there's nothing to complain about there. Now they're going to boo and try to keep Brock from being able to get to his people.
Brock to Gaddis at the 5-yard line. Harold Woods made the tackle, and the Bombers turn a break into a first down at the Tiger Cat 5.
And here comes Mark Jackson back in the ball game, and I'm glad to see Ray Yawk show this confidence in this young man. He's putting him back in there right now on the 4-yard line and saying, take that ball in the end zone, Mark, and make up for that bad play before.
If Mark's listening to you, he'll move the ball to the other hand if he tries the same play.
If he doesn't, I'm going down there in the field after him.
Obi Graves has a couple. I'll tell you, Leo, if the Bombers score here, we're going to have a good finish.
Now that was number 6, Woods, in there to make that play, and I really can't figure out why they take Brock out to run a ordinary play like that, and then take Mark Jackson out and put Brock back in. Anything that Brock could have done now, he could have done in that last play, I would think.
And had an extra down to work with.
That's right.
2nd and goal from the 3. Brock has time. And can't find the hand. Bob Gaddis. Leo, I'd like to see that because I think he might well have caught that ball.
Here it is right here. Brock goes back. They're starting to penetrate. He's got some time, though. He throws that ball, and it just absolutely hits him. There may have been a little deflection there. It's just hard to say. There may have been a little deflection there by Paul, but or was it Shaw? It was Shaw. There may have been deflection by Shaw, but it still hit him right in the numbers beyond the deflection. And here we are now at 3rd down. They're going to go for it.
Goal to go from the 3. One last chance for the Bombers. Jackson is at quarterback. Obi Graves tripped up at the 5-yard line. Harold Woods, Grover Covington, with great defensive efforts. And the Tiger Cats come up big here in the 4th quarter. 22-13, Hamilton out in front. There are the important numbers, a 9-point differential favoring the Tiger Cats, and 10 minutes, 18 seconds to play. Hamilton will start from their 5-yard line. A lot of passing yardage for the Bombers. Dave Graffey maybe has 2.
You know, John, when they're down that far, wind isn't that much of a factor because, you know, Hamilton doesn't have freedom of movement down there, although Clements is a daring style quarterback. They're still down there where they can't take too many chances. As far as wind is concerned, if they kick the ball right here, even with the wind, I think that Winnipeg will still get pretty good field position, and then they'll be on the move again. So this game's not over yet.
Flags go down as Clements drops back. He could be in trouble. Got it away. David Graffey, 32. I think it'll depend on what the infraction.
It looked like movement on the offense that time.
I'll tell you, Graffey has had himself a pretty good ball game.
If offside, Hamilton, number 1. 2nd down repeated.
That was
Keith Baker got a little excited.
There it is right here. Yeah, Baker starts and gets into that position where he can't hang back, and his head was probably hanging over that neutral zone right there, and they called it movement. That's a break for Winnipeg. Second and about 12 yards to go now. But again, the thing about Clements is that he will take a chance where other people wouldn't. Now, there's a play coming in from the sidelines, and I don't know just exactly what it could be. It could be a screen pass down here, but it'd have to be something safe. I don't think Cush wants him to put the ball up in the air and throw it too deep.
First down, Rocky DiPietro. What a big play. Reggie Pearson made the tackle. The Tiger Cats were deep and in trouble on 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you one thing, this Clements won't only break your heart, he'll break your spirit, because right there they had Hamilton in a lot of trouble, and he comes out of it again and looks for that DiPietro over there on the sidelines and gets the first down, and boy, that might turn out to be one of the biggest plays of the ball game right there.
Well, the Bombers had them hemmed in. They'll have to try again from the 19. Graffy, nowhere to go that time. York Henschel, 52, a former Tiger Cat, former Edmonton Eskimo as well.
It is right here. It's a draw play this time, and they have the halfback leading it, and Henschel just stuffs the whole thing and goes in there and meets that Graffy head on, and that's how you break him from sucking eggs, boy. He hit him and just drove him right back into the backfield.
Big rush on Clemens, 2nd and 12. Great catch. Crawford gets to the 35-yard line, then a little more. But a big play.
That's just like I said, this Clements will just absolutely keep breaking your heart. It's a play-action fake in there to Graffy, and he just gets Crawford coming across.
Okay, 22-13, Tiger Cats over the Blue Bombers. They'll be back to Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton in a moment. The injured Hamilton Tiger Cat player made an outstanding catch on a pass that was a little bit high from Tom Clements, but it was not too difficult for Crawford to pull down. However, he's shaken up.
Well, there's the hit, and it's a big hit by number 20 on Crawford, and there's no question that when Williams hit him, he could have, I think, given him some kind of a knee injury on that one. I hate to see it, because Crawford, as I said early in the ball game, is one of the most underestimated players in this league, and I'll tell you, he can not only run with the football with a lot of determination. Oh, he's up on his feet, and I guess it was just a good jar. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with that knee at all. This kid don't only run well with the ball, he can catch the ball a ton, and you know, he's just a good guy to have around. Reminds me a little of Willie Bethea when he used to play with Hamilton.
Well, lots of action coming up on the CFL on CBC next Sunday. Calgary at Toronto for the Eastern Conference viewers. Leo Cahill and myself will be there for that one. And the Western viewers will see BC at Winnipeg, Ron Lancaster and Don Whitman in Winnipeg for that game. It's Dave Graffy across the 45-yard line.
This kid is showing some production out here this afternoon. He's a big boy, 225-pound running back in there that can play fullback, and probably primarily is a fullback. But he's getting to the outside, John, and he's getting up in there, and he's using his eyes real well. It's kind of a not quite as big, but kind of runs like Zonka, the Zonka type from the Miami Dolphins in their heydays.
2nd and 3, Clemens to the air. He's got Keith Baker, and a first down for the Tiger Cats. Charles Williams forced him out, and Clemens